Good morning, park managers, and welcome back. Today I've been asked to show how I'd make a sand dune. It's quite a simple build, quite luckily. It's not something too bad. Like this one you should be able to do as well, because we're not going to add any plants. This is going to be a carnivore like enclosure, and it's not that ridiculously hard to make a sand dune. We'll start off doing the sand layer so we can see it dead easy. You should be able to put, like, I don't know if I've already said or not, but you should be able to make this on, well, all consoles, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, that being the new gen and old gen, because this is all we're going to do is use a brush. Now, it does seem simple, because it is just simple, but trying to make it look like a sand dune, like you could just literally, right now, what I'm doing right here, slap a load of sand down and then call it a day. Now, if you actually look at sand dunes, there are a lot of like hills, mountains of just sand everywhere. So I feel like it kind of helps if you raise it, because you already see it's pretty nicely textured, this brush. But I noticed a lot of pictures, the sand dunes themselves will reduce the slope a little bit. They're like wavy lined hills like this, and you can make those as tall as you want or as short as you want, depending on like the size of the enclosure. But that's basically our main like little vibe that we're going to do here, because of the wind and things like that. It's going to be like almost the same, almost. Like different gaps here and there, and it's going to break the enclosure up quite nicely, especially for a carnivore. And or if you want to do herbivores in here, you can have like a little green section, or you just do a staff off show area, and that's how you do get away with putting your food down, because obviously we don't have herbivore feeders. They have to be like plant brushes, which obviously if you try to do a sand dune where there isn't going to be much in the likes of plants, it's going to ruin that look in a sense, unless you're kind of going for, like, obviously with a sand dune you can do like a beach, I don't know if they're also called sand dunes as well, but like a beach one. But if you're going for like a midland, like Sahara style one, and it's the center of the sand dune, you're not going to want that many likes of plants, because already that's starting to look like a sand dune. Like, oh, to my side here, I do have a reference picture. I always get references if I'm like kind of thinking how I'm going to do this. So this is one that the ones I've seen a lot come out, where it's just like really tall, tip-pointed, like hilly mountains. But then you got a few others which look completely different, where it looks like it's just loads of heaps of sand everywhere and things like that. There are some really cool pictures. I'll put some up on the screen. This is already really textured. We need a place to drink, so that's why like an off-show area would go, especially if you want this. But then at the same time, you're going to want your dinosaurs to traverse this land, so it looks kind of nice. So obviously from this view you're not going to see much, you're only going to really see it when it comes up to the top. So for the example of this one, we're just going to hide a small water source here as best as the game will allow it, because for some reason it takes up massive room, the water. And we didn't lose much of that hill. It's kind of hidden from the view of our viewing gallery. And then to like make the dinosaur traverse this land going back and forth more the way we want it, we're going to place ourselves a feeder here. Now a lot of people have asked for me to do enclosures for Majungasaurus. So this one I'd say is a very Majungasaurus kind of like, I ever see Majungasaurus in deserts or in like barren lands or in like seasonal dry and wet flood areas when they're shown on TV and in documentaries and sometimes in paleo art. So I feel like this is going to be the perfect enclosure. Now you could add rocks if you really want to. Me personally, I love placing rocks, and I'd love to place rocks in this, but this is really as simple as you could keep it. Like obviously in sand dunes you're not going to see many rocks unless they are like the lower down areas, so we could add like one or two that have not been completely buried, like, or on the edges and things like that. But yeah, that's a sand dune. It's nice, it's simple, it looks cool, especially if you want that kind of style. Like I feel like what would make like a really cool park, especially if you're like a lover of Ark and you want to do Scorched, you could do a whole square map of this sand dune and just have the park in the center. But yeah, I'm gonna get a Majungasaurus in there, get a few shots, and I know this is a very simple one, but I feel like for some people making sand dunes might have not came this simply to the mind. And that's perfectly all right, because that's what happens. You can be creative in other ways and not so creative in different senses and that kind of thing. But yeah, I hope this has given you some inspiration for your builds, especially for those who've been asking me to do like the simple builds, as well as people have been asking me to do sand dunes. But it is as easy as that. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little montage. Until next time, I'll see you later.